Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is April 21st, and today we're going to take a look, of course, at this trough digging offshore here, the Pacific Northwest. Spread some pretty heavy showers over the region yesterday. A pretty good line of showers went through the Portland area. The instability was lacking just a little bit inland, but we had really good wind fields, and so we did have some rotating storms that I got a few photos of yesterday across the southern Puget Sound. We did have some thunderstorm activity off the Oregon coast yesterday afternoon and last night as well. As you can see, we've got a little mesoscale low moving up the Washington coast right now. Really cold air behind this. And the wind fields just aren't as strong today, but there is a chance for a thunderstorm across the region. General thunderstorm threat exists. Across the rest of the country, there's going to be some severe weather the next few days across the Great Plains. I'm not going to be out chasing it. It's not quite good enough. And plus, May is coming. I'm going to be out there quite a bit during May. So trying to bide my time a bit. The setup coming up is not ideal. But so we're going to go through this trough here, then we're going to build a ridge and maybe get a nice couple of days here. Saturday looks particularly good, and Sunday we might get another warm day before another trough really sets up over the region here going on in through the weekend. So checking things out here, this is yesterday south of SeaTac. You could see this thing was rotating and spinning little shear funnels with it. I didn't see anything that was about to touch down, but some of these funnels were kind of reaching towards the earth there for a bit. And then this one kind of moved up just west of my home over the Puget Sound. You can see a little bit of structure involved with this and some heavier rain involved, although the instability wasn't quite good enough to give us lightning strikes inland yesterday. And here's one more shot of that. You can see the rising scud, and this weakly rotating storm here was, it was trying to produce a little spout or some kind of weak tornadic process was going on there. So looking around the rest of the country, you see the fire danger that's been plaguing much of the high plains through March and April here. And there's a high wind warning here through parts of Kansas, Oklahoma. Some winter weather advisories out there for the northern states, eastern Montana, and a winter storm warning there for the Sierra Nevada. And this is for Spokane. They're talking about that chance for isolated thunderstorms possible today. So eyes on the sky. You might get some small hail, and if you see dark clouds rolling in, you have lightning potential today. So heads up for that. And heavy snow into Friday. Check out this for the Sierra Nevada, 1 to 2 feet of snow above 5,000 feet. And a lot of these passes are pretty high going through there. So heads up if you're traveling through the Sierra Nevada there on in through Friday. And this is the general thunderstorm risk today. You can see it does include most of the Pacific Northwest down towards the Bay Area. And you see that slight risk for some severe weather across Kansas, northern Oklahoma there. A little bit of a tornado threat as well if storms can fire. This is day 2 tomorrow. There is an enhanced risk. The tornado chance is not that high, and that's kind of what I'm out there for. So that's why I'm sitting this one out. But there is a severe risk going across the Central Plains, and this is for Saturday here. So that pushes off towards Iowa, Minnesota, and portions of Missouri and eastern Kansas. So looking what's happening today, this is the NAM3 cam, and you can see these showers popping up across the region here. Mainly as we get into the afternoon is probably our best chance of a lightning strike around the region. You can see these thunderstorms popping up. We'll look at a couple soundings here too, and I'll show you why these aren't going to be organized thunderstorms. But there's enough instability that we definitely could see some lightning around the region today. Here's the HRRR. Generally agrees. You can see it start to build these showers up through the afternoon. Some of them might be heavy at times, but it would be brief, and there could be some small hail involved as well, and maybe a little bit of gusty wind with it, but nothing too extreme. And this is Cape value. So we're looking at this afternoon here. You can see the Cape build up over the region here. So this is what's going to give us our thunderstorm chance through the day today for the Pacific Northwest. And taking a look at a sounding here, this is for, you can see the instability here, but you look at the winds. They're unidirectional for the most part, and they're not that strong. We don't have the good shear we had yesterday. We had some low-level turning in the atmosphere and stronger winds that sheared the profile a little bit better, but we lacked instability a little bit yesterday. So anyway, we do have instability today. We have good low-level lapse rates, and when lapse rates, I mean, you see the temperature of 51. Look how quickly the temperature drops off if you get up towards 5,000 feet, a really rapid drop. So really cold air just off the surface here is going to give us our instability today. So you probably see some nice crisp white cumulus clouds out there and possibly a thunderstorm. Now this is looking at the European, what it's calling for today. You can see that little low pressure system moving up the Washington coast, going to keep those showers rolling around the area today. Some mountain snows will be going on. You can see that's why they have the winter storm watch for the Sierra Nevadas. You can see that moderate to heavy snow at times down there. as the trough finally starts to kick out during the day Friday. And we're still going to have cold air around, and you can see the showers pop up a bit again in the afternoon heating on Friday, but it should be a pretty decent day across much of the Pacific Northwest. If you're not under one of these showers, it's going to be quite a nice day, actually. And then Saturday, check this out. We should be dry, and we should warm up towards 60 degrees in Seattle, maybe towards 60 degrees in the Willamette Valley. So a pretty nice day Saturday. Sunday looks like it's going to warm up pretty decently, too. We'll take a look at some temperatures here in a moment. But then we have a system moving in later on the day Sunday here. And then we're going to get back to the troughing, which we'll look at here in the extended in a moment. So here is the extended. 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. There goes our trough moving out. And here comes that ridge mainly for Saturday. You can see it really build in there nicely. Nice day Saturday. And perhaps a decent day Sunday before that precipitation starts to move in. Let's take a look at the further extended last night's European. And then you can see the troughing just open back up over us. So we don't get much of a break, maybe a couple days there, and then the troughing is just kind of relentless here as we go through the end of April. I mean, look at that. This is 10 days out now, and this troughing just kind of hangs out for a few days. So we're going to get some systems rolling through the area here starting early next week and continue on through next week. And we'll go through those one by one as they come up. Let's check out the GFS and see if it agrees. This is this morning's run here. Actually, let's update this to make sure we have the latest data. Now you can see the troughing out here. Then what we're looking at here is the ridging start to build in Friday a little bit. So maybe a nice day Friday with some residual showers around. Saturday, a decent day. The ridge is there. Sunday, looks like we might get a nice day out of that too before this next system really starts bringing in the clouds Sunday afternoon. And the GFS looks like it's in pretty good agreement here out to 126 hours with this troughing setting up. Let's go ahead and look at the previous GFS so we can go out a little further. And yeah, you can see that troughing really just hangs around as we get reinforcing shots of cold air out over the Gulf of Alaska. It's just going to keep these systems rolling through the Pacific Northwest here. And yeah, I mean, when you go way out and still the troughing is kind of just with us all the way into early May. So we'll see how that goes. Things can change at this range. It's getting towards that time of year where we can string together a few nice days in a row if given the chance, but persistent troughing is in order for now. And let's just looking at the temperature profile again for SeaTac today. This is about late morning or just around noon. You can see the wind profile. The winds are not that strong, mostly unidirectional. So that's what differs from yesterday from today a little bit. But we might have a little more instability today. So if we could have coincided today's instability with yesterday's wind field, we probably would have been talking about some pretty unique weather around here. And by that, I mean we could have had even a tornado or two around the region, because the storms, even with limited instability yesterday, were rotating and they were putting out funnel clouds, and I witnessed that firsthand. But you can see the steep low-level lapse rate. So we've got some instability around, but these storms are going to pulse up and maybe produce a lightning strike and then kind of collapse back in on themselves. They're not going to be well sheared. And this is kind of looking at the same thing here. This is the RAT model. It also shows instability with really steep low-level lapse rates through the atmosphere. And it shows some of these tops up towards 20,000 feet today. So we might get briefly, some small hail and some lightning with some of these cells. So this is the European model. Look, going through the day today, as we warm up today, you can see we get up towards the low, maybe even mid-50s. Willamette Valley, maybe upper 50s as we go through the day today. And then these showers should take advantage of that heating, and then they'll wane after the solar heating relaxes as we go into Friday night. And you see we cool down Friday night. Saturday we warm up fairly nicely. Look at this, up towards 60 for maybe the Puget Sound, Willamette Valley on the day Friday. But there's still going to be residual showers around. So some areas are still going to be dealing with some precipitation on Friday. Then we warm up again Saturday. We should be totally dry on Saturday. And look at the temperatures are even better. Look at the Willamette Valley getting all the way up into the 60s. Perhaps some 60s up through western Washington, Columbia Basin warming up nicely. So Saturday looks like a nice day. Get out there and enjoy that. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people out and about on Saturday with that nice weather rolling in here. And look at Sunday. Right now, the first half, at least, of Sunday looks pretty good. As we go into early afternoon here, you see this maybe up towards 70 for the Willamette Valley, maybe 60s for the Puget Sound before the next system starts to rush in here. And let's go ahead and just look at that. So we're looking on into Monday, and you can see the cool down on Monday. Seattle back down into the lower 50s. Willamette Valley still not too bad, but the next troughing is going to be taken over after that. And we'll look at some temperatures here. So this is the latest European. You can see we start to warm up over the weekend here. And after that, we cool back down again. You see this trough coming back in for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe we'll warm back up again after that. But this is really fantasy land once you get out this far. But we do show troughing for next week. So we're going to have systems continuing to move through the area. So enjoy this weekend. We might get a couple days, Saturday, Sunday, and even Friday will be nice for some areas. This is the GFS showing our decent weekend coming up, and then we cool back down with that agreement on the trough coming through next week. And then the GFS kind of, it's not too bad for us on the extended. But again, Fantasyland, we have plenty of time to look at that. We'll visit this again tomorrow. So yeah, watch these showers rotating around this low coming through today. The wind fields aren't that strong, so they might look kind of menacing on radar briefly as they come up and maybe produce lightning, and then they'll kind of collapse on themselves, and then the showers will pop up elsewhere, and then these will die as the daytime heating dies through this evening. So yeah, we're going to go through this troughing here, then the ridge on this weekend. Enjoy that day Saturday and possibly Sunday too, and maybe even tomorrow. And then you will be back into the troughing the following week. As you can see, look at this storm out over the Aleutian Islands here. This big Pacific mid-latitude cyclone. It's going to keep our weather active through next week. So the thunderstorm potential will be there as well. So we'll talk about this again tomorrow, and I hope you get some good pictures today. If you guys capture any lightning or any nice thunderstorm clouds, send them my way on Twitter. I'll talk to you guys later.